Hello everyone, Darcenova here. If you've seen my haul, you know what I would be reviewing. And the series in particular I'm reviewing, at least the season anyway, The Flash. This is part of the CW universe, which was started by Arrow, which I'll talk about at another day. I haven't seen Arrow, and this is my first exposure to the CW universe, so my opinion of the show is based off this show on its own merit. So I'm not going to compare it to the Arrow or talk about Arrow. I'm just talking about this show and how it does on its own. Now, this isn't the first Flash series. I know some of you may not know that, but there is another one that came out in the 90s. So, but this is the first in the CW universe after, Arrow, as far as I know. I could be wrong. But how does this do? Does it succeed at being a good superhero show on its own, or is it crap? Well, fortunately, if you're a Flash fan like myself, it isn't. I think it's really good. Now, don't expect it to be this masterpiece, to be this show, just don't expect it to be that way. It's a show that's based off a comic that isn't ashamed to be that it is a comic book. And to be honest, I think that's a good thing. More shows based off comic books should not, they should be proud to embrace that it's a comic, that it's based off a comic, that the source material that it's based off is taking it from is based off a comic. And I think The Flash is like seeing a comic book character come to life. I think it represents the character well, even though there are some deviations from the source material, but that's to be expected if they're going to make a TV show. I like the characters in this show. I think that they're all likable. I think they have a great chemistry together. The plot of the first season of this show basically is Barry Allen trying to track down the man that killed his mother. And the person that did it, well, I'm not going to reveal who he is because it's a spoiler, but it is pretty obvious by the first season that he is the Reverse Flash. By the first episode that something is off. I'm not going to talk about who he is. But I liked all the characters. I felt they had great personalities. I felt that they worked. I felt like they had a great chemistry together, and I didn't really hate any character really in this show, which is surprising. Maybe my expectations may have not been that high when I first watched this, but I really enjoyed this show. I think it's fun. I think it knows when to be dark and when not to be. It knows when to be serious, when to have a funny moment. I think it does a great balance of light and dark moments. It really does, actually. And the actors that they do choose for the characters, I do believe are believable. It's such a shame that the best we have for DC right now, from the cinematic perspective, is the CW, which I can't comment if the universe sucks or if it's bad, but I like what I've seen of it so far based on this. And I feel like this version of the Flash is the best we're going to get for this character. Because I highly doubt the movie that's going to be released in a few years is going to be a good representation of the character. Yes, Jeff Johns may be one of the people in charge of the DCU, but that doesn't mean it's going to be good. Because we're dealing with Warner Brothers here. Now, I haven't been talking that much about this show plot-wise. I can get into spoilers easily. If you want me to do a spoiler review, I can do that. I'm trying to give as little spoilers as possible. I guess you could consider this spoiler-free. My favorite episode of the series is the Trickster episode. If you've seen the original Flash series, Mark Hamill did the role of the Trickster, and he comes back to do it in this show. And my God, he is great in that episode. My favorite episode of the whole series. And the one twist in the end of the season, who you find out who the Reverse Flash is, I thought was great. And no, it's not Dr. Zoom. Zoom is not the Reverse Flash, at least as of season 1 of this show. Now, how well does it to establish the Flash? It does it really well, I thought. And it makes you want more the more episodes you watch. I don't think it's required to be a comic book fan, at least, to enjoy the Flash. If you just want a good superhero show that's, that you want to be entertained, and you want a nice balance between, dark and light moments, I think this does an amazing job at that. There are better superhero shows out there. There are. But if you're looking for something like I described, I don't think you're going to regret watching The Flash. If you want something that's dark and more serious, I'd recommend something like Daredevil, which I'll talk about that next when I talk about superhero shows. So season 1 of this, I'm going to give this probably a good rating. It's a good show. I highly recommend it. I recommend you check it out. I think it's really good. If you have Netflix or Hulu, you can check it out. So yeah. See you guys next time, and have a nice day, everyone. Later.